NCTV45, The Train, anytime on your time.
This program was provided through funding from Cedars Restaurant in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. A special thanks to Cedars, featuring Middle Eastern, Italian, and American cuisine.
Welcome to the Cedar Sports Corner, everybody. I'm Alex Laverson, and with me is our producer, Mr. Angelo Parada. And Angelo, what a weekend for football, both college and pro, huh? And I know you're happy because your Irish are going to the Final Four. Pitt lost, and I think we talked about that through text a little bit last night, why the Panthers are played the way they are. But Angelo, first things first, how do you feel about the matchup that Notre Dame has in this playoff?
I think the Irish are in great shape.
Mm-hmm.
Clemson is going to be a nice challenge, and it's a nice warm-up. I don't believe that Alabama can play Auburn, Georgia, Oklahoma, the Notre Dame Clemson winner, and win all four of those games.
Mm-hmm.
Their schedule hasn't been that tough the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, I have some doubts.
Yeah, and they almost lost to Georgia. So do you feel like they got the Final Four right for the most part?
Well, you couldn't, based on how they treat Notre Dame,
Mm-hmm.
based on how they treat everybody else, the winner of the Alabama-Georgia game had to be in, and the loser had to be out.
Mm-hmm.
It had to be. When you're allowed to soften your schedule to the point where you need to have a conference playoff, then you're in trouble. Play who you have to play in your conference.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in the Western Edge, and and what should happen is after you play like Big Ten East or Big Ten West, after you play that schedule, it should be you have to play the crossover to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Not, we're going to go out and get Union Junior High Pop Warner. I don't
Mm-hmm.
believe that. And, from that standpoint, I just think it's wrong.
I think, everyone wants to see a bigger playoff format. I'm okay with the Final Four.
Well, the team that really shouldn't have gotten screwed was Central Florida.
Yeah.
I believe they should have been in front of Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm. I want to see them play. Everyone, you got to give these teams a shot. So the Final Four playoffs better than nothing than what it used to be, but it could still be better. I do feel bad for Central Florida.
I do not like the matchups though that they give you as you're going through with teams with losing records.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, you should have to have a winning record. Now, Western Michigan's going to play BYU and it's the Bahamas Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just have our regular bowl games. Dollar General Bowl, Hawaii and Louisiana Tech.
What bowl's Penn State in again? They're in the. I know they're playing Kentucky. I'm having a.
Let's go Wildcats.
Let's go Wildcats.
You know, I don't see the matchups because there's so many bowls. In other words, on the 29th, you have Florida and Michigan playing in what's the Mazda Benz Stadium, and they don't even list the name of the bowl. There's Chick-fil-A Bowl. Okay, but it just gets crazy. And I'm really trying to look. Northwestern's playing Utah in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl.
Pitt is playing Stanford in the Sun Bowl. I think that'll be a decent game. As far as Pitt goes, otherwise, just want to touch on them real quick. I think really what the problem is when they clinched the ACC Coastal Division championship against Wake Forest. On their last offensive play of their game, their starting center goes down, and he goes down for the year. And he's a great starting center, and he's the leader of that offensive line. And when you have a running attack like Pitt does, you take out your center, he's out for the year, you have to shuffle things around.
Now, I'm going to give you an example, and I don't want to interrupt you. Georgia went from 4-5 and lost to Alabama. Anybody else would have dropped at least 3 or 4 places. Okay, so when you look at Central Florida, they're number 8 and they won. They actually lost the place winning. And I just
it's a shame.
I just have a lot of doubts with that. But we better take this break.
Yeah, let's take a break, and I'll finish talking Pitt sports in the next segment. We'll talk about Pitt and Duquesne too. But for right now, let's take a break and have a word from our sponsors.
This program furnished by the MAD Unit, Mobile Auto Detailing. See Michael Sad at themadunit.com. Holy snowman, it's the Turf Bar, home of great sandwiches, appetizers, tacos, you name it, they have it at the Turf Bar. It's just the right food. You'll enjoy those special drinks. They're there too. And get that nice cold beverage, relax, enjoy the Turf Bar. If you ain't there, you should be. Hello, friends. Pinella Brothers, 1701 Hamilton Street, provided funding for this program. Great food and drink, Pinella Brothers.
Welcome back to the Cedars Sports Corner, everybody. I want to finish talking about Pitt real quick, the Pitt football program. Like I was saying, when your starting center goes down, who's the leader of the team, the leader of your offensive line, and especially with the rushing attack that they have, obviously that's just a major blow. And I think, honestly, their starting center going down is worse than if their starting quarterback, Kenny Pickett, were to go down, or even one of their top 2 running backs. So I think when their center Morrissey got hurt, that just it was just an unfortunate situation, and it is what it is. So you could see that when they played against Miami and Clemson. I think if Pitt has their starting center, they win.
But I
against
think
Miami.
you got a bigger question. Here's the bigger question. Why do you have blowout wins or blowout losses with the Panthers? Example, Penn State blowout loss. Okay, Central Florida blowout loss. Syracuse.
That was a Pitt one. That was a tight win.
But it wasn't really tight when you score 45 points. Okay, and Duke, blowout win.
What's a
Virginia Tech, blowout win. Okay, Miami, blowout loss. I mean,
Clemson blowout loss.
I think you got to look and go to the coach and say, why are we at the extremes? Where's the middle ground coming in?
Yeah, it's a consistency problem, and that's kind of that's something Narduzzi has. That's a criticism Narduzzi has faced lately, and I think it's justified. I'm not saying necessarily Narduzzi's a bad coach. It's just that Narduzzi, in his 4 years, he seems to be a coach that'll maybe get you your 7, your 8 wins, hover a little bit above 500, and occasionally win the Coastal Division championship. But Pitt has always, Pitt the last few decades, especially the Big East days, has been a program that has kind of been known to underachieve, and that they should be winning their weak conference more often than not. I think this Pitt team is a good team if, Morrissey didn't go down. I think with their center Morrissey going down, like I said, it just is what it is. It ruins everything. But the coaching, I don't know how much longer the athletic director, Heather Lyke, and the administration is going to settle for 8 wins, hovering above 500, and these lopsided wins or losses. They want something more. When Narduzzi won the Coastal Division, I kind of wondered, does that make his job safer for a few more years? I don't know.
Here's now the next question up is the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they headed?
I don't know, but Crosby's been just in overdrive mode. I think he's tired of losing. He's been playing phenomenally, and he's kind of has taken over.
Yeah, they're 8 points out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they need to really refocus and bring the team together, because it kind of looks like they're out there in no man's land, and you have to start to wonder about the Pens.
Mm-hmm.
Are they getting too old? Do they need some fresh blood?
Well, I obviously don't think, you get rid of Crosby or Malk. I don't think that's what you were saying.
No, I mean,
I think,
support personnel.
Yeah, I think the goaltending has been very obviously controversial. Has the Penguins' goaltending? Does that solve everything? If the Penguins fix their goaltending, does that solve everything? I don't know. I don't know enough about the game of hockey to really, make an opinion or say.
Well, from what I watch when we do a hockey night in Newcastle, goaltending matters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the teams with great goaltenders, and the blocked shot is important, but getting the puck out of your end. In other words, when the goaltender gets that puck and he's able to get it off one of the walls to somebody down ice, that doesn't allow you to get checked and give up the puck in your opponent's zone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things I've noticed. Now, I'm going to cut you on the Pens, and I'm going to fly over to Duquesne basketball. And here's a question.
Okay.
And I'm going to make a parallel here. I was out of Notre Dame for the Duquesne-Notre Dame game. 4 minutes to go in the game. The Dukes are tied with the Irish. 4:24 to be exact. They're tied at 54. The Dukes lose by 10. And right at that 4:25 mark, Gray calls timeout for Notre Dame. The announcer goes, let's make some noise, which is legal.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing they did was play Here Comes the Irish.
Mm-hmm.
Here Comes the Irish. And the crowd goes wild. It wasn't a sellout crowd. Okay. And wasn't a sellout crowd. But the Dukes get intimidated, lose by 10. The Dukes take on Pitt. And Pitt has had an ability to win in recent years. So when you forget how to win, is that the issue with the Dukes? That they forgot how to win, same as Pitt football. And what makes that different? Because, you know, they're going to take on Marshall, Longwood, Maryland Eastern Shore, Maine, and then they're going to play Penn State.
I don't think I would be too worried about Duquesne hoops. Like I predicted on last show, I did think Pitt would win. But also, it's not like Duquesne lost to an irrelevant team. This Pitt team is different than last few years, and it starts with coaching at Capel. Duquesne's a good team.
They're not losing. Here's what the schedule says. We're not losing to irrelevant teams. We're losing to teams with names.
Well, look at the teams you lost to. 2 ACC teams. Notre Dame and Pitt. That's to be expected. And the game with Notre Dame, they held it.
I don't think it's to be... See, as a Duquesne guy, I don't think it's to be expected because I was down there in the days when we beat UNLV, we beat Pitt, we beat West Virginia.
Well, yeah, no, I know Duquesne can win those games. What I'm saying is those aren't bad losses. You're losing to teams who have, 4-star recruits.
Okay.
I don't want to say it's a good loss, but it's...
There's no such thing as a good loss, but you didn't lose to the upper corner along Avenue Extension.
Yeah, sometimes you're going to run into a team that's just, better, and then there's no shame in losing that. I mean, Notre Dame, they were tied with them until, the last 4 minutes, and then, you melt down. Look, I'm not that worried about Duquesne hoops.
Okay, now let's go to one thing, and that is the Steelers. And last night, wow, the calls. I mean...
Speaking of calls, do you think we should make a call to go to break for our third segment?
Okay, I'll do that, and we'll be right back.
Let's make a call for our third segment, and now a word from our sponsor.
Today's programming is brought to you by NCTV45 and NC Radio 450, Newcastle's community television station. This program furnished by Sporting Goods, 23 East Washington Street, Newcastle. Call 724-658-2535. These fine businesses provided funding for this program. Gatherings, Town and Country, and On Target. And we're back.
Breaking news here, and this is kind of a big deal. At Youngstown State University, campus is on lockdown. A suspect is currently at large with a firearm. Last seen at the recreation center. No description. YSU police is investigating. Please shelter place and lock all exterior office doors. And so our thoughts and prayers are with Youngstown State University right now. And I guess the show must go on.
We'll keep you informed on that.
We will.
The Steelers. Last night the calls were worse than Limburger cheese. I mean, was that to tighten up the little conference ditty here with the 7-5 Baltimore Ravens, or what? I mean, I think it was the selling tickets aspect, as you have to really, really wonder what they were trying to do.
Well, last few games, even with the win against Jacksonville, the play calling has kind of been, I feel like one of the main topics. Now, they did. I looked at that field goal at the end. I definitely would not have called that offsides. I thought, because when the ball moves, that gives the okay for the defenders to go. And, so, and I understand it was very tight. It is so, I just feel like in that situation, like with the game on the line, I wouldn't be that stingy. You know what I mean?
You don't make the call.
Yeah, I wouldn't have. I just looked at it and I thought the ball moved. So what can you do? I'm not saying that's why the Steelers lost, but that definitely.
Well, it definitely helped.
I mean, that was the deciding play. Now, Andrew, that was the first time it was in the Steelers in their history when leading by 16 lost.
I know, and it's really weird. And they're going out to, and I'm a traditionalist, arch rival Oakland Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You can tell me Oakland's bad, Oakland's this, Oakland's that. So right at the time you're going to eat your macaron. Mm-hmm. So just to know that. Cleveland at home against Carolina this week, and I still say the Browns got some thunder from down under to do some winning. Baltimore at Kansas City. Baltimore gets a loss there. And Thursday, Jacksonville and Tennessee, which ought to be a good game.
I think so too. I know a lot of people are on the Dallas bandwagon. I also know a lot of people are jumping off the Steeler bandwagon. I wouldn't jump off the Steeler bandwagon just yet.
They're a better team. They're a better team than the record indicates.
Yeah, they really are. But they obviously have issues. You're gonna. The Steelers, for being 7-4-1, they obviously have talent, but they do have issues. I feel play calling, being disciplined, and of course, Connor always seems to give us a scare, or at least lately he's given us a scare.
Where's he from again?
Erie and Pitt. He grew up in Erie, PA, and he's a Pitt Panther.
You never saw those running backs from Notre Dame do that.
Right. And, Ben, like I said before. Ben's Ben. He could be really hot and then really off. And even when he's off, I feel like maybe sometimes he's put in a position where he shouldn't be, throwing the ball. I feel like he forces things a lot. It's like, just take the sack. Or, maybe throw it out of bounds. But, I think... So I wonder if I feel like maybe he gets pressured from Brown to throw it in. I don't know.
When I look back over the totality of losses incurred by the Steelers this year, years before, the apology factor comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to know how many losses there were, and then how many losses with the apology factor. Because that always seems to be, oh, we're sorry, oops.
Mm-hmm.
And, so can Kentucky beat Penn State?
Oh, yeah, of course they can beat Kent State. Will they beat
Penn?
Penn State. I meant to say Penn State. Will they beat Penn State? Honestly, I don't know enough about Kentucky. My gut feeling is that they will, honestly. So I think James Franklin drops to 9-4. Will Pitt beat Stanford? I don't know. Again, just with that loss to their center, I just don't think. I think Stanford will win.
Do the Irish beat Clemson?
I think the Irish beat Clemson, and I think it's going to be. I think it'll be a close game because Clemson's obviously a good team.
Is Oklahoma up to playing Alabama?
I think Alabama wins that actually, and I think we're gonna have a rematch in 2012. And my gut feeling, I predict the Irish pull that out with the win. So that's my prediction.
There you go. See, Mike, I finally got to him.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have to say bye.
I can make predictions. I just don't want to make predictions if
Anybody can make predictions. It's like being right.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If I don't know enough about a team or a topic, I feel like if I make a prediction, it's like dishonest. But I don't know. But I think that's it for our show. Again, our thoughts and prayers are with Youngstown State University right now. And Angelo, any last words?
Have a great day, go Irish, and put up your dues.
Have a great day, and keep following Pitt basketball. Jeff Capel's a real deal.
A special thanks to the YMCA for caring about the Lawrence County community and providing funding for this program.